Welcome everyone to the Black Culture Geeks podcast. This is my man SBJ.
You.
And I am Tombstone the Dead Man, and we are just a couple of geeks talking about pop culture from a black perspective.
Facts.
Facts indeed. So as I look over this document here, there is a lot of topics.
Yeah.
A lot.
No, well, see, the reason that it's like that is because quite a few of, I don't remember off the top of my head because I set this up a while ago, but quite a few of them are rapid fire. So,
okay. They won't take, some of them won't take as long to cover. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Gotcha.
Let me clear out some of these tabs. All right. Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you are listening to the sound of my voice in real time, then that means that you're on the Black Culture Geeks or the Multi-World Entertainment Facebook page, and you're watching us. I appreciate that. Shout out to everybody that follows the pages and catches us when we live stream.
Even though it starts off a complete clusterfuck. But what we have learned, right?
Yeah.
Is that's the nature of this show in general.
I mean, yeah, it's on brand. Like, it's so on brand. So, like, it doesn't matter for real.
It's on brand.
It's what it is. And now I can't see my screen. That's dumb. I'm not on the live. Not on the live. I'm talking about on my phone.
Oh, damn.
It would be nice if I can. All right, it's not important. So normal. What happened? I switched my camera.
Yo, for those of you listening on the official podcast, the audio that'll be on Spotify and iTunes and all them other places, there is always an extra element of fuckery. And we add the video element to all of this.
Every single time, man.
Every time.
But I think it's a part of our charm.
Well, I mean, okay. But what I was saying, what I was saying about that is, the reality is, we got to figure this out because this is the only way for the shit to really grow. Because we did really good with the audio for like over a year. We did really good with the audio, but now adding the video component to it, and you would think two guys that deal in video all the time should get this. But man, there's a lot of working parts of this broadcasting shit.
See,
a whole lot.
We do a lot with video, but not a lot with streaming.
Right.
That's the issue. If I had started doing the streaming thing when I had first started doing the streaming thing and stayed with it, then this would be an issue. Just for anybody who cares to listen, the issues usually come from the beginning of us starting to try to live stream BCG. The issues started off coming from some outside force introducing new limitations that we had to get over. That's what it started as. Now, the only issues, and they're still issues, but they're much less prevalent, is from us trying to improve something, and not the only way we can test it out is to do it. So that's what that is. I can only imagine one or two more possible tweaks to the BCG Live.
I wouldn't even put that energy out there.
I'm just saying, listen.
I wouldn't even.
One or two more tweaks to the BCG Live that could possibly end up messing things up, and we'll get them fixed when we get them fixed. Which it won't be long. It won't be long. It won't be long. But
usually we have adequate to mess things up, but today we do not have him to blame.
Yeah, blamed him anyway.
I mean, that's true. Jeremy did already blame him. So.
Yes, I mean, that's covered. We got that covered. So yeah, is there anything to ever? No, I mean we got the advertising taken care of, or Oh, did you? I can't remember. Since you did it, did you mention the change to the Rational Warrior YouTube page?
Oh, I believe I did, but it's bare. I can bear to repeat it. So basically, those of you that I haven't uploaded on the Rational Warrior page channel on YouTube in a long time. But that's going to be changed soon because we got like a whole suite of content that we're trying to disseminate on various different platforms or whatever.
Yeah.
Specifically, the music content. So, because I wanted to streamline and make my branding on YouTube a lot more erudite.
That's a five
ass. When you have distribution, I don't care if it's TuneCore, DistroKids. I think CD Baby does this shit as well. When you distribute your music, and one of the things you can distribute it to is, of course, the YouTube music. They will automatically generate for you a artist page, topic page. You can get control of that page, though. I just found that out fairly recently. So what I'm doing is I'm in the process of blending those two pages together so it becomes an official artist page. And in order to do that, I had to change the name from Rational Warrior to my stage name, Tombstone the Dead Man. To be honest, I didn't think about how much that little change would affect me, but I actually like it a lot better that way now, because from the start of my the start of the career where I started having like a fan base, there was always people that were confused,
right?
And thought that my stage name was Rational Warrior. When I performed at the Reason Rally, that's how the guy introduced me. Of course, I got up there and corrected it, but still, it's ass, right? So
is not specific enough a name to be an artist name.
And the thing about that is that wasn't, when I started that page, that really wasn't my intent for that page. That's how all that stuff happened. And it's hard to try to switch up branding, notice, and getting attention and stuff like that. You don't really want to touch nothing. You know what I'm saying? You want to kind of leave it where it's at so people can still find you and they're not confused. But It's been fucking 10 years, 9 years or whatever. They know who the fuck I am by now. So,
I mean,
it shouldn't be an issue. So.
No, should not. Along those same lines, ladies and gentlemen, I have followed suit because whatever Papa does, the kids have to follow.
Shut up.
Oh, my bad.
Shut up.
So NAG District has technically, I guess, been revived and reborn like a phoenix from the ashes as SPJ.
I see you again.
If you recall, I lament the fact that I'm on YouTube again. It's a necessary evil. It's a necessary evil. So, Mag District has returned in the form of SPJ. Soon to be everything by SPJ. As soon as I get this okay from YouTube to merge my artist account with my.
Oh, you'll merge it and it'll still stay SPJ.
No, I'm gonna change the name. What you mean?
You can't. You can't.
It's my name, and I'm gonna change it. Listen.
Unless you change your artist name to that and go on your distribution.
Listen to me clearly. I'm just gonna have to go through the process again.
Look,
I don't care. Listen. Here's the thing. Okay.
If it takes you 2 months to get this,
the only reason I'm willing to risk that is because SPJ is so short. It's horrible for search purposes.
Listen, it definitely is, but what you could do is just initial everything out. EVSPJ.
I'm not doing that.
EVSPJ.
So dead. But yeah, whenever whether the merger is complete, I am going to be changing it to Everything by SVJ. Now, if that breaks the merger and I have to do it again, then we'll cross that road when we get there. But that's the plan. And just to make YouTube think, well, not even, it's not really to make these happen independently.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure everybody's heard by now, but the amazing Bill Withers passed away yesterday.
Yes, he did.
And I kind of put together something real quick that is both a tribute to him and a commentary on what's going on in the world right now. And I've uploaded that to the YouTube page. Partly because I didn't know where else to put it, but also because I wanted at least, because there is some human interaction in this process to merge the channels, but a lot of it is handled by an algorithm. So I just wanted to trick YouTube into thinking that I'm actually active on my page. What's going on, bro? Yeah, I wanted to trick YouTube into thinking that I was actually active on my page, so I uploaded it there. So that's there. It's called Withers. It'll make sense when you listen to it. But yeah, I think that's, I mean, outside of the scrolling text that's on the screen,
right.
I think that's it for me. I don't.
Also, now that we're talking about this, and it kind of led into it when you said something about everything that's going on. I gotta say, some of these humans that I'm seeing have to be about the dumbest motherfuckers I've ever seen. The way I see people jumping out the window with this COVID thing, the stairs are right there. The stairs are clearly marked, and they jumping out the window.
No, I mean it's on brand.
I have heard everything from it's the 5G to no, Trump's doing this because he's really trying to catch the pedophile ring. Like, I'm like, just stay your ass home and wash your dirty ass hands. Stop trying to wrestle with the big picture. You're gonna hurt yourself.
Yeah. Like, and with that advice, I've also added drinking plenty hot liquids. That in there, you know, the new information coming out. I don't know how well sourced it is. This is one of those things that is absolutely not going to hurt you if it's wrong. Basically, they're saying that the behavior of the COVID-19 is a phlegm that eventually hardens, and it doesn't allow, it blocks your airways, and it doesn't allow the medicines for the symptoms to get where it's supposed to get, and blah, 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 blah. So the easiest way to combat that is hot liquids, lemon.
That's good. The only thing about that I have heard has been from some unsubstantial audio that's been floating around with this lady on there talking about how this is what they discovered in China. Now,
I heard about it from Johns Hopkins.
Oh, okay. Well, if John Hopkins is saying it, then that gives it more credibility. But the only place I've seen it was that it was like an audio of some lady talking and said this is what they discovered in China. And I always look at that shit as suspect because it costs you nothing to leave a link to a citation.
That's a fact. That is a fact.
And so when I don't, and usually from my experience with dealing with those that love unsubstantiated claims, those that love to spread around all kinds of crazy shit so they can seem deep, they almost never have a citation. And when they do,
rarely.
And when they do, it's from one of the most batshit crazy sources you will ever see. Or the rare times they actually have it from a legitimate source, they've completely misunderstood what it's saying. Right? They completely misunderstood. So, you know, I'm going to tell y'all, be careful.
Mm-hmm.
Wash your filthy, filthy hands.
Yeah.
And, like, stay your ass home if you're not essential. Yeah, stay out of people's faces. You know what I'm saying?
I want to reiterate, I don't like, you know, if anybody has paid attention to me, it's not my thing to share unsubstantiated things. But this thing that I just said hurts you none. If you just drink hot liquids, eat soup, do things for your immune system, open your clean if you got some areas in your house that's like dusty, clean it up, open your windows a little bit, get some fresh air coming through.
Sure.
No, that type of thing.
Wash your hands.
Wash your hands. Absolutely wash your hands. Take bags.
You know what? I'm stuck on the wash your hands part. Well, I'll tell you. There hasn't been a time where I've gone to a public place and had to go into a restroom and haven't seen somebody come up out of a stall and head right back out to the dining area. They didn't put a molecule of H2O on their hands.
That's funny.
Not a molecule. And listen, y'all some nasty buzzards. I done seen it firsthand. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all probably gonna drink something hot anyway. You know, a lot of y'all like coffee. Coffee's the thing now. You know what I'm saying? But y'all, a lot of y'all not gonna wash your hands. Y'all not. Listen, they not. They not.
I don't like you.
Yo, listen.
Yo, you just out of your mouth. Coffee's a thing now.
Listen, it's a thing now. They built the entire culture around coffee now. You know, yeah, like it wasn't. It's a whole different language. I've been in Starbucks with my wife or whatever. They got a whole language that's different than everybody else's with coffee. It's a what? It's Italian. Listen, this is Latin. This is a dead language or whatever. Because I never heard anybody use that. But coffee latte with a double mint twist. I don't know what that. I don't know what they're saying. You know. But it's a thing now. People gonna drink that. They're gonna drink it, right? When I say it's a thing now, I mean they got a whole. It's to me. Nobody reminds me of the whole culture around Apple products. That's what it reminds me of. It's a whole thing. It's a thing. They stand in line. I guess they got a new flavor or whatever. They running the taste test.
That is though. Like
what?
I'm still not sure how recent that is though.
Okay, so my timeline may be off because if this shit happened, even if it started 15 years ago, that seemed like just yesterday to me. So no, it's just saying it's a thing. Now. My whole point is they're going to drink something hot, but they ain't gonna wash their hands.
I mean,
they're not gonna wash their hands. Know what they're gonna do though? They're gonna use those same filthy hands to type on their little keyboard some shit about 5G and all that. They're gonna do that.
I hate you.
They're gonna do that.
You're right.
I'm just saying. They need to wash their hands.
God damn it. All right. What is that noise? You doing some work?
I am not. That is a sewing machine going on over there.
Okay.
We definitely hear it on the string.
Yeah, I'm about to say, what's going on? It sounded a little bit like construction work.
It sounded like construction work.
Just a little bit.
First, let me give a shout out real quick to my man Mike Gleason. He shared the video, and Mike has been a long time supporter. of my music in general and content, just period. You know what I mean?
Word.
Appreciate you, Mike. Appreciate all of y'all for real.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Y'all could be doing anything else. Well, not anything else. Some of y'all actually are law-abiding and
some of y'all quarantined now.
Sense-abiding citizens. So you're actually keeping your ass in the house, which is good. Appreciate you for that. But absolutely appreciate y'all for taking the time out to tune into this live stream. And let's get into it. See, so last week, specifically stated that I didn't want to spend too much time on this whole coronavirus thing because we're supposed to be a distraction, right? So what we're going to do, we have a little section.
But like I told him, unfortunately, what winds up happening, it's unavoidable. It's too big.
So what we have is a small section that we just going to run through, and then we're going to get to the shits. And actually, the funny thing about it is most of these aren't like the doom and gloom of the coronavirus.
No. But they're relevant to it. They have some connection.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so let's get into this now. DJ Academics blasts Metro Boomin for his response to a social media post.
Hold up. So for those of you who are unfamiliar with DJ Academics, he is a YouTuber who rose to prominence about 2-3 years ago, something like that. He basically does video commentary on hip hop culture. He has a show on the Complex YouTube channel called Everyday Struggle. He used to have it with Joe Budden. He has a very popular Instagram. He's been known to break new artists when he plays their stuff or whatever. My issues with Academics aren't personal. We just disagree on a lot of stuff musically, and his take on certain things, but that could be about anything. But he has a popular YouTube channel and he doing his thing. So shout out to DJ Academics.
Absolutely. Who doesn't ever really show off DJing skills, but it is what it is. Apparently he really does DJ.
Yeah, I heard he used to DJ in college. So
so I mean, it is what it is.
He can still use. Fuck it. He can still use it.
It is what it is. All right. Hip hop blogger and hip hop producer are not seeing eye to eye right now. DJ Academic's decision to upload screenshots of Metro Boomin's recent tweets led to a digital dispute between the two public figures. Metro defended billionaires against fault finders that had a problem with the super wealthy only donating millions of dollars to help people affected by the coronavirus outbreak. Academics did not post all of Metro's tweets about that subject to his Instagram account, and the Boominati Worldwide founder addressed the IG omissions. You trying to be slick, only posting a few of the tweets. I'm not for negativity. Just keep me off of your gossip page altogether, please.
Oh.
That's basically said, keep my name out your mouth.
That's what he said.
Yeah, that's what he said. So it goes, Academics fires back, wondering why you're in your feelings about this. Nobody was being slick. You're just sensitive.
Oh, the S word. Said the S word. Said the S word.
Yeah, the success rate for telling someone that has a problem that they're being sensitive is drastically low.
Yeah, it really is. It really is.
You're just being sensitive, not relax, ain't that serious. Seeing World Star post the same tweet. Don't see you in their post like that.
That's a common response you'll see from DJ Academics when somebody like
you call yourself check me, but you ain't check this person.
But you ain't check, yeah. That's a common.
I think it's a valid argument.
It's valid sometimes, and sometimes it's just, everything ain't for everybody. Everybody don't got the same relationship. So you know what I mean? If you are a person that I don't rock with like that, you know what I'm saying? you can't get away with the same stuff that an Adequate could say or SBJ could say or something like you. Oh, I don't rock with you like that. So that might be what it is in this case. And there's been other times I've seen him use it where I've agreed with him. Like, yeah, yo, like that's media. So,
yeah,
what the fuck are you doing? What are you doing?
Absolutely. He goes on. The everyday struggle panels did not stop with just those two responses to Metro's comment. The separate Instagram post, which blasted the "Not All Heroes Wear Capes" album creator. Metro Boomin, stop being sensitive, nigga. Ain't nobody being slick. World Star posted the same thing. Go look. Ain't seen you under their post having a hissy fit. Block. Gonna post what I want still.
Talking real spicy there, Act.
Went horrid for real.
DJ Snackademics.
I mean, but let me read Metro's tweets that was shared.
Word.
The same people complaining about $25 million donations won't even donate a single canned goods to their local food bank or shelter because they too busy being fake woke on the internet. And then he says $25 million is only $30 to them in the SpongeBob type. How are people actually on here complaining that someone's contribution to the crisis isn't enough based off of what they're worth? Y'all be so fake woke. Mr. Bowman, if I may, I get where you're going with this.
I do too.
I understand where you're going with it. But I'm going to have to disagree. And here's why. This is not a situation where we're talking, and don't get me wrong. Let me be very clear. I'm not saying that anybody should go broke doing this.
Nah.
I'm not even saying that they should be required to give more.
Either.
That's not what I'm saying. But this is a worldwide issue. If we talk about this from the most cynical standpoint, in order for you to continue to make the type of money that you make, you need these people to be alive.
Right.
From the most cynical viewpoint, if you're literally just looking at it from a business point of view, you need these people to be alive in order for you to continue to gain money at the rate that you're making money or at a higher rate. You need as many people to still live as possible.
Right.
On the humanitarian note, I really don't think I have to explain the benefits of of giving relief.
I think, well, y'all know me. I am very skeptical of big money philanthropy.
Yeah.
The stuff I've learned over the last year about that shit has me looking at all these motherfuckers suspect. That said, though, $25 million can purchase a lot of fucking face masks for healthcare workers that are out there trying to combat this. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think this is the wrong hill. If people are arguing from that perspective, well, he's worth this amount, so this is like nothing to him. I don't think that's the right argument. I think that really doesn't matter in this case because 25 million can buy a lot of face masks and scrubs.
Here's the thing.
You know,
I don't know who he's referring to. Right. That's the one thing. Because the only thing that I saw personally that used this person makes such and such and such, this is only like such and such amount of money to them, is that Bill Gates and Mark Zuckerberg donated a specific amount. And it's like, those are two, how can I put this? Generally, under normal circumstances, when people complain about billionaires, and not you know, their tactics or whatever it may be, or however it is that they got their fortune, blah, blah, blah. Not that stuff. But the fact of nobody should have $1 billion, I generally lean neutral, slightly leaning to the billionaire side only because if we take morals out of it, they earned that money. And if we're taking morals out of it, but only, like I said, only slightly do I lean towards them because they don't need my help for anything. So, yeah, I'm not. But
so we're what we're saying now with all of this, the narrative that they're the ones that's going to save us, we should stop that shit. Because the truth of the matter is, it's the regular motherfuckers that's still going to work every day, putting their health at risk. They're the ones. Like, no, Tony Stark ain't coming to save us, dog. He's not. Bruce Wayne ain't coming to save us. He's not. It's going to be the regular people making sure that this essential shit that we need, that we take for granted every goddamn day. We take for granted every goddamn day what these people do. And speaking to somebody personally, like my daughter works at the Walmart. That's considered an essential thing now. So she has to go and basically put her health at risk. Being out there while people come up there and I just got finished talking, but people won't be washing their fucking hands. I just got finished talking about that. You know what I'm saying? Like, but that narrative, making them into superheroes, I reject that. And I also reject the idea that we're supposed to drop our skepticism when it comes to philanthropy. Like, nah, B, you need to be skeptical about a lot of that shit too. Especially when you find out about the donor advisement funds and all this other stuff where they can put up a press release that they put out a whole bunch of money, but then there is not a requirement for them anytime soon to actually give it. And then there's an even longer amount of time before it's actually given to the actual people. So now I'm not, I made a song called No More Messiahs. I meant that shit. Right. I saw a lot of people sharing that song. I saw a lot of people quoting the lyrics when I first put that song out. And I seen some of these same people still got messiahs. They still got them. You know what I'm saying?
No, that's real. That's real.
I think Metro, he got a point. Like, in this case, 25 million buys a lot of shit that they need to protect people. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, and it's like you said, they really don't have to give anything.
No.
But it's also like you said, where you get your money from again? Where you get your money from again? I do not like the fact that the regular guy does not get lionized. Yeah. The regular worker. And to be honest, the regular worker pisses me off a lot of times for not standing up for themselves, for grabbing onto narratives that make them seem less than.
Yeah.
Like, what they do is not important.
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah, like, that you know, I don't like when a motherfucker don't stick up for themselves. I don't like when a motherfucker don't stick up. Like, you gonna let them keep punching you in the face? You gonna let them keep kicking you in the nuts? You gonna let that happen? Like,
yeah.
I don't like that shit.
It is what it is. All right, so the one thing that I do vehemently disagree with him on is this first tweet. The same people complaining about $25 million donations won't even donate a single canned goods to their local food bank or shelter because they too busy being fake woke on the internet. His
common
thoughts. First of all, you don't know who's of the common people who is donating because they don't have big platforms to advertise that they've done this great thing for the world.
That's a fact.
That's a fact. On top of that, some of these people aren't working.
Yeah. So, exactly. This is the other reason why, like I said, we gotta be very careful before we do this. What I call it's a lateral attack to another worker, just like you.
Yeah.
You got really careful when you do that because the reality is the people that are suffering a lot now are the regular folks. The ones who their job shut down.
Yep.
So you expecting these people who don't know where their next check is gonna come, don't know when that funky little $1,200 is gonna end up in their bank account, to go and take some food out of their refrigerator,
right?
To go give it to someplace else when they don't know where their next meal. Like I said, I think a lot of this shit is respectability politics too. A lot of it is like,
of course, absolutely,
man, it's respectability politics. It's like, it's not respectable for you to, man. Listen, I feel like since the regular people are the ones suffering the hardest in this shit, they got a right to run their mouth. Let them run their mouth. Let them run their mouth.
What else they got?
They don't got shit else.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So moving on, this one's going to be really, really quick. It's just a little thing about the stimulus checks. Basically, the legislation that was passed, as far as the stimulus checks is concerned, turns off nearly all administrative offsets that ordinarily may reduce tax refunds for individuals who have past tax debts. Mm-hmm. So that's like if you're behind on some payments to federal or state governments, student loans, the only administrative offset that will be enforced applies to those who have past due child support payments that the states have reported to the Treasury Department. So if you owe child support and your state has reported you to the Treasury Department,
right,
there is going to be a reduction, if not elimination, of your stimulus check.
Wow.
That
okay. So I don't know how to feel about it.
Right.
On one hand, I kind of get it. Like,
yeah.
They had to pay for a lot.
Yeah, it's like realistically, I get why people would be upset about it, but I get why you wouldn't be eligible for this.
Because all right, so think about this, right? The person not paying, on the flip end of that, whatever social services that the mom has been getting for the kid, that's still being paid out.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So the person that owes child support, they're not holding up their end. And before I go any further in that, I am somebody that's been on the end of that shit.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, there are some shady ass dudes out here that won't do what the fuck they supposed to do. But there's also situations out there where there are dudes that are really caught up in a fucking bad way. Absolutely. And they don't get the reprieve from this. As somebody that had to go through the system, it's unfortunate for them. It's unfortunate, yeah. As somebody that had to go through the system to get custody, trust me, they don't favor you, man. They don't favor you. Like you're not the priority. You know how many times we tried to get the sheriff's department to serve a damn subpoena? Right. This was part of their job, and we couldn't do it. We had to do some other shit to get that shit set. You know what I'm saying? So we not blind to that. But if you ain't been paying, like the state's still paying out that money for the WIC and all that other shit. They still paying that out. That come out, excuse me, not the state, the people. Right. We gonna get out the habit of that too. Yeah. We're gonna get out the habit of acting like this is the state's money. Nah. This ain't the state's money, B.
It's only their money by product of them taking it from us.
Yeah. Yeah. Pay, man. Like I said, I know people who refuse to pay on the dumbest grounds ever. You know what I'm saying? The dumbest grounds ever. You know, and I'm like, you can't, how much you gonna bitch when you've been shortchanging your kid? How much you gonna bitch? You know what I'm saying? You've been shortchanging your kid. Like, nah.
It just is what it is. You gotta get over that. Like, at some point, you have to realize, all right, I'm in this position. I got to do something about it. Like the people that are in hardships that are really screwed by it, that's one thing. But I'm not talking about those people. Right. I'm talking about the people that just choose to find a way to get around the system instead of doing what they're supposed to do.
That's the people I'm talking about. Like, yo,
Yeah.
how much can you really bitch when you know you've been going out of your way because of some personal issue you still have with the mother? Not realizing this ain't really about her. Yeah, you can make the argument, oh, she used that money for whatever. Yo, you can't prove that.
You chose her.
That's the other thing. Like, you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes.
Stupid prizes, absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's crazy.
Part of it. This is life.
Yeah,
and in life,
there's consequences
for the shit you do. Like, it's that simple.
100%. You might be able to avoid some of them for a long time.
Right?
but there is something coming for that ass.
It's coming.
All right, moving on to the next one, because like I said, we don't want to spend too much time on Ms. Rona out here
knocking,
putting in work. Putting in work. Yeah. All right, but and the only person benefiting from Ms. Rona is Mother Nature herself. Like, anyway. So, Oklahoma company plan to dock stimulus money, abandons plan after backlash.
See, this the shit I'm. This the shit I was just talking about. Why I don't get it. I don't have the knee jerk jump out the window reaction to defend these companies, corporations. Nah, B. Continue.
Yeah, we can't make this shit up. Now listen to how this article begins. A second company. Let's stop right there. A second company.
A second one, B.
Second company.
Second.
Plan to dock coronavirus relief money from its workers' paychecks, but has since rescinded the plan.
Of course they did.
Over the weekend, Fox News reported that a Texas-based company planned to preemptively take money from its workers, equivalent to what each employee might receive from the government's $2 trillion stimulus bill. The story sparked a strong backlash, and companies that planned to take similar measures have started to rethink their strategy. As originally reported by the Lost Ogle, Oklahoma City-based company ImageNet Consulting intended to take this measure with its employees. As of Monday, I'm guessing this is the Monday before last. I can't remember when I added this to the docket. The company issued a statement declaring that it will not follow through on that plan. ImageNet sent the following statement to Fox News. As our company grapples with the massive business disruptions caused by this outbreak, our first concern was ensuring we could keep as many people as possible employed for as long as possible. We implemented a series of steps to cut costs, including asking our top executives to forego their pay and capping all salaries at $75,000, said Pat Russell, president of ImageNet Consulting. While there was uncertainty about the federal government response, we also asked a small group of employees to reduce their compensation by an amount equal to any government support they received. Our intentions were to serve the greater good and protect our most vulnerable employees. All right, hold on. Let me stop right there. Because let me read this again. Maybe I read something wrong.
Okay, that's fair.
While there was uncertainty about the federal government response, we also asked a small group of employees to reduce their compensation by an amount equal to any government support they received. Now, here's the thing about that. What do you consider small?
See, you're raising a very good point here, sir. You're raising. This is the same equivalent when they say, "Oh, we're gonna hook you up with $1,200 this one time." You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You out of touch, B. Like, out of touch.
And then, okay, so let me finish the second one I was reading. Our intentions were to serve the greater good and protect our most vulnerable employees. How? You didn't mention that part of the plan.
This is spin.
Because if let's say All right, so if you capped everybody's salary at 75,000, which means under this legislation, all of your employees would be receiving stimulus checks.
Right.
So, what is this small group that's supposedly supposed to be cutting their salary by the amount that they would be getting from the government? Where do they rank?
Shit, yo.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. And he goes on to say, however, we understand our plan was ill-advised. Really?
Well, at least you understood that. but you only see. This is my whole point, man. You only understood it
because of backlash.
Backlash came.
Yeah,
there was nobody there thinking in terms of, yo, this is a bad look,
right?
Because there's nobody there thinking from the level of the regular employee.
That's a fact.
There's nobody there thinking like that because you're so detached, and this is one of the outcomes of having a huge amount of resources, being in control of a lot of people's resources. Right. You get detached from the reality.
I said this about another story that we did recently. I'm not saying that their intentions were, but I don't think that they necessarily had evil intentions in mind when they did this. It's just that you are completely, like you said, detached. It's a group of people making decisions based on, first, their interests.
Right.
Then second, what they think the other people would want. And it's like, you can't do that.
You are more charitable with them than I with that. Because I don't like the terms evil and all that other shit, because to be quite frank, I mean, that's subjective.
Yeah.
I will say though, there is a tendency to fuck over the little guy.
Oh, absolutely.
And that shit happens too often for it to be a camera trick. You know what I'm saying? Like, it happens too much. Like,
it's real out here.
It's a tendency to say, oh, maybe it's a tendency to fuck the little guy. And it's easy to do. Yeah. When the little guy doesn't have advocates that's in the position to advocate for them, it's real easy for a bunch of people that don't have to worry about where their next meal. But yo, if everything was happening the way it was supposed to be happening, the way they said it was happening, it wouldn't take 1 or 2 checks to have people destitute.
Right.
But clearly, 1 or 2 checks gone. Oh shit! How am I eat? Oh shit! How am I pay my rent? Oh shit! How am I pay my insurance?
But the reality of this situation shows that that's not just for the everyday little guy. These companies are wanting bailouts.
Yo, and which is the other thing, because the reality is part of that stimulus was going to the corporations and the companies.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And to the people with small businesses. Like
500 million is going to the people or something like that out of the 2.4
trillion. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, it's just, I can't.
Yo, like I said, it's a tendency to fuck the little guy because two reasons. The little guy is susceptible to every tragic event. He's more susceptible to losing every fucking thing.
Everything.
And not really knowing where to go. Secondly, he's also more susceptible to buy into narratives that he doesn't have control over the narratives.
Right.
He doesn't have control over the way those narratives are promoted. So if there's a certain talking point that's being promoted by those in power and those with all the resources, they're going to continually repeat that shit every chance they get. They're going to repeat that theme in movies. They're going to repeat that theme in commercials. They're going to repeat that theme when they talk. And it's going to become almost a reflex. And I see it all the time with regular working people. I see they reflectively cater to the narratives of people that don't give a fuck about them. I see it happen all the time. And I'm like, yo, I'm trying not to be angry at you, because to be clear, you're not in control of fucking anything. And as evidence by what we're seeing now, you barely in control of your life. All it takes is a couple of weeks without a check, and you're spiraling. So, but that's just what it is. That's why, like I said, like I try not to get angry with the regular working person, because I know they're not in a position as individuals. As a group, if they have some sort of cohesive, they get right. But as an individual, nah, big.
It's just I think it's a couple things. You will always have people that look out for themselves over the group that may happen to be doing a little bit better than the group.
Facts.
On top of that, there's a risk involved because of what you just said, and the fact that these national occurrences or worldwide occurrences could literally ruin everything for these people.
Right.
Same thing could be said for galvanizing and making a stand realistically.
Right.
But I wish there was a way to actually do that type of group organization and it be like done well. Like,
yeah, I think it's one of these cases where we're dealing with the state of humanity when it comes to these solutions. So we got to kind of factor that in. People we don't have any perfect solutions to this. I want to read a comment that Ogma said. He said he likes that Disney cut all their major exec salary, and I salute that.
Yeah,
I salute that, because rather than starting with the guys that don't have a nest egg, that don't have any residual income, that they don't get income that comes from them not putting their time or selling their time to a company. But those big executives, you know, they got stocks and this, that, and residual this, residual that. They're going to be all right. Start with them. That's a good look.
Without question.
That's a good look.
All right, moving on to the next story. So, Amazon workers hold press conference and tell women to stop buying dildos.
Oh, you hate to see it.
That's an interesting take on this, but I'm going to wait till the end.
Okay.
An Amazon worker held a press conference and pled women to stop buying dildos as they're non-essential. The sale of dildos have been on the rise. During the COVID-19 pandemic, the government has been warning people to try and only go to places that are essential to try and stop the spread. Websites like Amazon have also been telling people to only make essential purchases. Apparently, women have been making dildo purchases much more during quarantine. In fact, dildos are trending on Twitter after women were bragging about the purchases they've been making. Here's one of the posts. Y'all, Amazon vibrators, 10 out of 10 recommend. Will you be in a coma? For sure. 10 different heartbeats and out of body experience? For sure. If anybody want to know which one I got, I'll definitely link you. All right. So here's the thing, right? I have a very interesting take on this. First of all, the amount of things, hey, what's up, leader? The amount of things that are essential is one of those words that is, unfortunately, subjective.
Yep.
That's why certain words usually follow it. Essential for life. Essential for such and such. So when you use the blanket of essential, there are certain things that might creep in that the average person might not think about. For instance,
Mike Gleason makes a very good point. He says, first of all, not necessarily only women buying those.
That's a fact. That is a fact. Absolutely a fact. So one of the things that I've had this conversation with a couple of people that I've spoken to during all this, people don't understand why liquor stores are open. Well, one of the reasons is that being actually addicted to alcohol is different than some other things you can be addicted to. It is a possibility that if you try to go to cold turkey from alcohol,
You'll get them DTs, man. You get them DTs.
Yeah, you die. So yeah, that kind of has to be open because it's a legal drug. So, but here's the thing that some people might not have been thinking about. We're talking about the economy, and realistically, as much as we talk about the people who are putting the economy over the well-being of the citizens, they're trash, right? But the economy is still important. We understand that. Like, two things. The citizens are more important, but the economy is still important. All right, so
as a matter of fact, I don't even think we can separate the citizens from the economy, as we're seeing now. As we're seeing now, you know, they go hand in hand. Like,
here's the thing: I can't speak to the number of dildo purchases that have been happening. I don't know the exact numbers on that, right?
Right.
But, I know 3 or 4 people who just started up OnlyFans accounts, right?
Mm-hmm.
That might be essential for business.
Exactly.
I'm gonna keep getting. I'm saying
exactly.
And on one end, they might be looking for something else to add to their act or whatever. But on the other end, there might be people with like Amazon wish lists. And if you buy this off my wish list,
that's right.
I'll do this. They can't, like, they're going to have to do that in order to keep their fans, which is an income stream for them. Like,
right.
You hate to see it, but
and I'm just going to say, I'm just going to tell Amazon respectfully. Mind your motherfucking business.
Here's the thing. It says websites like Amazon have also been telling people to only make essential purchases, but I've not seen that anywhere.
I haven't seen that either. Say
was they weren't going to be restocking warehouses with non-essential things.
Right. I agree. I agree with you. I haven't really seen that, and maybe the fact that they're not. You know what though? Because that could go hand in hand. If they're not stocking the warehouse with anything but non-essential, they're not stocking it with non-essential things. Maybe that's why they're telling you, hey, we don't consider this essential, so don't even waste your time placing the order because it's not going to be here. That could be it too.
Here's the thing. You can't. This is the equivalent of a parent telling their child that they can't eat sweets and then loading the refrigerator with sweets.
With sweets, yeah, no bullshit. But I'm still going to stand on, because there's always some nuance to these things.
Absolutely.
But I'm still going to stand on the side of saying to Amazon, respectfully.
Because
mind your motherfucking business.
I just met an Amazon person. Was that yesterday?
Mm-hmm.
I think it was yesterday. Was it yesterday or the day before?
It was yesterday. You ordered yesterday.
I just met an Amazon person yesterday.
And no, it was not a dildo.
I mean, it wasn't a dildo, but it is something that's essential to the business.
It is. But the problem, see, that's the other thing about that, man. Like, small businesses, a lot of the times, get the shitty end of the fucking stick.
Yeah.
With a lot of this shit. And as somebody that has ran a couple of small businesses, you know, who actually engaged in capitalism, you know what I'm saying? Like, I could see where there's like these big loopholes that the small businesses always fall through. Like, they're not thought about. And to be honest, I was definitely surprised this go around with everything that's happening now that they even had small businesses in their mouth. when they was talking about this shit. That surprised me. Yeah.
Let's see what the deal is. Oh, hold up. Oh, Augment made a point that I had in my mind, but I forgot until he just said this. You could also argue that it's essential for mental health of responsible adults to have a drink on Friday. That's in response to the liquor store thing, but that's also in response to the dildo thing.
That's true too. It's true too. It fits the same thing. It fits the same
it fits the same category. Like it's impossible for what I feel needs to happen, right? Because these are unprecedented times.
Yeah.
What I need is people to understand that there are certain things that need to be mandated, but there are certain things that need to be left the fuck alone.
In other words, you need to mind your motherfucking business. Certain shit.
No, you're right. Absolutely.
You need to seriously like fuck, yo. That's not for you to be diving into that pool right there.
Thank you, leader. I got the quote from Amazon. What Amazon said is, we are giving priority to items our customers most. You may experience shipping delays. Thank you.
Yeah, I did see that.
Right.
I did see that.
Right. All right.
So not to stop buying it. Just right. You might see the this ain't the priority.
Delivery might be 5-day delivery now.
Like this ain't it, Karen. This ain't it. This ain't it. You know what I'm saying?
All right. So that's the end of the Corona stuff, right? Well, not completely.
Not completely, because we got some. Hold on, before we go there, occupy them. I gotta do something real quick. Just
all right.
Continue the show.
All right. So, but I don't want to do this part without you. Damn it. All right. What can I? All right. So I'll do this one story. Oh no. Yeah, I'm gonna do this one story because I don't want him being ass and interrupting me. So, DJ, quote unquote, tried to downplay Quincy Jones, and Black Twitter found 100 ways to tell him to sit the fuck down. Every day we stray a little further from God's light. As we social distance and come up with new ways to entertain ourselves, the conversation of virtual battles came up amid a flurry of actual music battles between songwriters and producers. So far, fans have gotten to witness. Actually, we'll get into that later on in the episode. Because of the success of those battles, Black Twitter suggested a few hypothetical face-offs that would prove to be entertaining. And the convo filled with dream scenarios was a good time. Then, like clockwork, someone decided to piss in the Kool-Aid. On Sunday night, a DJ, and again, in quotations, named DJ Green Villain, decided to hop on, that is a horrible name, by the way, decided to hop on Twitter and spend his self-isolation time stirring up ridiculous arguments instead of, I don't know, doing something productive like going on IG Live to perform a set like every other actual DJ did over the weekend. Look, y'all want to retweet some shit? Put this out there. I'll go song for song. The delusional jackass moonlighting as a disc jockey tweeted. Kanye versus Quincy Jones production. I'm putting money up on it. If you're not going to go song for money, stop mentioning me. So, Kanye, sure, the dude has an acclaimed catalog, but downplaying the man who paved the way for Kanye and countless other producers in his generation is next level ludicrous. Shit, Kanye has even sampled Quincy Jones' work before. That's a fact. Not DJ Green Lantern. I don't know. That's funny because I guess it's simply because of the comic book reference that people have something to grab onto. DJ Green Villain just sounds like you were trying to. DJ Green Villain sounds like a knockoff of the Green Goblin, for real. Like, no bueno. I wasn't talking to you. I'm not talking to you. Jester even doubled down with a few other tweets to support his argument that Quincy Jones wasn't all that great and insisted people.
That's where we at?
I skipped to it because I wanted to get past a certain part without your assery, and I'm past that part. So now, yeah. All right. So, and that Quincy Jones wasn't all that great, and insisted people offer money to support theirs. Y'all talking about Quincy the GOAT producer, but don't even bump his shit like that, and I know y'all don't. Let this be the same situation with a rapper. It'll be a completely different story. Like I fucking said, if anybody want to win some money, I got that bread that I'll play better production from Kanye West than you can from your favorite producer, even that nigga that produced Thriller. I'm sorry, are we talking about Quincy Delight Jones Jr.? The man who produced a good chunk of Michael Jackson's legendary solo catalog, including the best-selling album in music history. We can really stop there, but of course, I'm going to go on. The man Frank Sinatra hired to arrange and conduct his work, the man who convinced Miles Davis to revive his classic music in a live recording that would become the late jazz legend's last album, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductee, the man who made history as the first black person, along with Bob Russell, to be nominated for the Best Original Song Oscar, the man who brought together many of our faves for #1 albums such as Back on the Block and Q's Juke Joint, the man who wrote music, Soul Bossa Nova, that ended up being used at a whole-ass global sporting event known as the FIFA World Cup in 1998, the composer who scored some of your favorite films and television shows, including but not limited to In the Heat of the Night, The Italian Job, Sanford and Son, The Deadly Affair, In Cold Blood, Roots, The Wiz, and The Color Purple, the legend who could divert even the most inexperienced journalists into talking about Brazilian music, that Quincy Jones? Yeah, and we don't even need to get into his work as a music executive, a film producer, multi-instrumentalist, and beyond. Naturally, Black Twitter immediately provided 100 ways DJ Green Villain had us fucked up. Subsequently, the whole thing resulted in Quincy Jones trending worldwide on Twitter. Overall, this nigga clearly needs a crash course in Quincy Jones. Perhaps he can start with Netflix's 2018 documentary, Quincy, which I still haven't watched yet, but it's on my watch list.
I haven't either.
After he shuts the fuck up, of course. Yeah, I mean, I feel like this writer did all my dirty work for me.
He did, but I gotta say there is another issue. Mm-hmm. There's a core issue with this whole thing that I see continues to pop up. That's why I know it's a core issue.
I bet you he's like 22.
Yo, you right here, right? There's people that's below a certain age who didn't do the work.
Yeah,
right.
That's it.
They didn't do the work to get into the industry, because part of the game used to be like, yo, when I was coming up in this music shit, you knew about who the fuck Quincy was, even though I didn't do Quincy type music. I'm a hip hop dude. You knew about all these things, all the guys that came before that knocked away the trees and build up this city, this industry of music, right? You knew what they was about. You wouldn't fix your mouth to say something crazy about a guy like that. But it's this thing, man, where you got certain, and it's not all the young ones, because I know young ones that are down. They know about all the shit because they're really into this music shit, right? But there is a segment of them who feels like if it happened before they were old enough to know that they shouldn't stick their tongue in a light socket, don't matter. So if the person isn't where they were by the time they're of age to understand shit, then they never accomplished anything. And it's only the people they looking at now with these, I gotta say, quite modest successes and achievements in comparison to somebody that's got decades in. You know what I'm saying? And instead of them thinking, well, I don't really know much about Quincy, no, I'm just going to try to shit on Quincy and say he ain't do nothing.
It's so easy. I don't know.
That's all you got to say. That's all you got to say. I don't know. I wasn't around for it, and I'm not educated on it. I do know what this guy did because I was there for that. But again, a lot of this also has to do with a lack of giving a fuck about what happened, because like I learned about this shit because I gave a fuck about it.
That's it.
Like the idea that the only thing you should try to learn is the things that happened while you were alive is the most idiotic shit ever.
Yeah.
And I see that sentiment a lot. I see it a lot, and it's kind of dumb. Like,
no. It's extremely dumb. It's stupid as hell.
It's dumb as fuck.
Like, how is that helpful?
It doesn't, like, even from a self-preservation shit, it doesn't help you.
It doesn't behoove you to ignore the past.
Yeah, like.
Yeah. All right, so we're going to get more into that a little bit later. We're going to take this quick break to refresh this call because you lagging again.
Again? No, sleep.
Again.
Presto. Well, yeah, all right, so that's not a problem. I'm going
to end the call and call you back. All right. I'm taking Tombstone is back.
Yeah, this is the cost of live streaming as well as recording the
podcast. And there seems to be no lag now.
Yeah, that might have to be the thing that we have to do. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. So this next, because I definitely wanted you here for this one.
I wanted to be here for this too.
R. Kelly is in fear of dying in jail and wants out immediately.
Robert.
Yeah.
Robert.
Oh God! Right.
Hold on. Before you go into this, are we here again?
Absolutely.
Are we back here with Robert again?
Absolutely.
For those of you that might be new to our show, we're like over 100 episodes in.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Our most listened to, I think they changed it. No, it's number 2 now, but our first really listened to podcast was the one we did on R. Kelly. And every so often, we got to come back and revisit this shit again.
It's the bane of my existence as far as on this podcast. All right, so R&B star R. Kelly is hoping to get a taste of freedom thanks to the coronavirus.
Nah, B. Nah.
R. Kelly is hoping the ongoing coronavirus pandemic will be his get out of jail card, insisting he's not safe behind bars. The disgraced singer's attorney, Stephen Greenberg, has filed a motion in which he implored lawmakers to release his client ahead of his upcoming Illinois trial because he's at risk of contracting COVID-19. No matter what,
Greenberg. Sorry.
No matter what steps they take, the sanitation will be substandard. The risk of an internal pandemic at the MCC is great, Greenberg told TMZ. According to the documents filed, Kelly insists social distancing is impossible in the jail, and hygiene items like soap are only available to inmates who can afford to buy them. He also hold up, and ladies and gentlemen, the reason that's relevant is because R. Kelly's broke right now.
And also, if you think you're not washing your hands out here in these streets, they definitely ain't washing their hands.
He also claims that making inmates stay behind bars during a pandemic is tantamount to making them drink poison. Greenberg explains his client is willing to wear electronic monitoring if he is released on bail and stay at an apartment complex in Chicago with his girlfriend, Joycelyn Savage. All right, wait. It continues. Government is fighting back against R. Kelly's attempt to get out of prison because he's scared of catching it. Feds believe R. Kelly will simply disappear if he is released from prison during a global pandemic caused by an outbreak of the deadly coronavirus. Last week, R. Kelly filed documents asking to be released from MCC prison in Chicago, claiming it is impossible to practice social distancing or maintain good hygiene. The singer said basic amenities like soap are luxuries some prisoners cannot always afford. The lack of soap, plus a recent hernia operation, as well as his age, puts R. Kelly at risk of contracting the disease, according to his lawyer, Steve Greenberg. Greenberg told the judge the 53-year-old singer was planning to stay at an apartment with one of his girlfriends and alleged sex slave, Joycelyn Savage. Today, March 30th, United States Attorney Richard P. Donahue hit back at R. Kelly, claiming his conditions in prison was just fine. First, Donahue said that there were no known cases of the coronavirus inside of MCC. Second, Donahue claimed that there is more than enough soap to go around the prison. Has also
stop! I gotta do it. Just don't be dropping it. Go ahead. Just don't be dropping it. That's all. Go ahead.
Galgo has also made it clear that the defendant continues to have access to soap and cleaning supplies at no cost. He may purchase additional soap from the commissary if he chooses. On a more serious note, though, Donahue noted the real risk of R. Kelly could pose to the victims and witnesses in his case. That's true. In fact, in October of 2019, a judge shot down his earlier bid, citing his failing health to get released. The defendant continues to pose both a flight risk and a serious risk of obstruction. His motion for emergency bail, based primarily on the generalized risks from COVID-19 and circumstances that are hardly unique to him, do not overcome the risk he poses if released. Right. But wait, there's more. R. Kelly's lawyer is fighting back against a charge claiming the singer was purposefully spreading herpes around. R. Kelly has fired back at a New York STD law as he fights to get a disturbing charge dismissed in his child sex abuse racketeering case. Earlier this month, the I Believe I Can Fly hitmaker was accused of deliberately infecting his victims with herpes, although he is denied having the incurable STD. The feds say R. Kelly gave herpes to at least 2 women. One was an underage Jane Doe, while the second woman allegedly contracted the STD from R. Kelly in 2017. R. Kelly's lawyer, Stephen Greenberg, just filed documents challenging a New York law that has been on the books since 1943. The Section 2307 of the New York Public Health Law makes it illegal for someone who knows they have an infectious venereal disease to have sex with another person without telling them. But Greenberg believes the law prevents people in New York from having sex altogether and therefore must be unconstitutional. The law does not punish the transmission of herpes, nor does it punish the failure to disclose to another that one has an STD. Instead, it prohibits anyone who has an STD from having sexual intercourse. It is this wholesale prohibition that the government does not even attempt to address, nor can it. Greenberg claimed the statute being used to target R. Kelly is puritanical and was enacted during a time when interracial sex was illegal and same-sex marriages weren't even considered. Greenberg called the law wholesale prohibition on sex, and under the current law, tens of millions of people with herpes and other STDs would be banned from being intimate with their partners. The statute at issue calls for a complete and total prohibition on sexual intercourse, regardless of whether one is married or not, regardless of whether consent has been contained, and regardless of whether proactive measures have been taken to ensure a lack of transmission. The state of New York certainly has a rational reason to want to control the spread of STDs. However, the state cannot do so by completely banning sex, which is exactly what the statute achieves. R. Kelly's facing multiple charges, blah, blah, blah. He should be going to trial in July for the charges in Brooklyn, although the date could be affected by the court closings because of the coronavirus. And R. Kelly still faces criminal charges in Chicago. So,
hold up for a second. This is all I heard the entire time.
R. Kelly has
all I kept envisioning, right, was they're in court and the judge says, it's illegal. It's illegal to be spreading herpes around. And R. Kelly saying, no, it's not. I mean, I ain't doing that. Yo, hold up. Hold up. First of all, what's his lawyer's name again?
Greenberg.
Come on, man. Like, that is, you have stretched that statue so far out of its original shape. Like, nothing can mean anything anymore. Like, nothing can. So this penalizes. Nobody can have sex now.
Apparently.
Yo, first of all, I can't believe the R. Kelly. Okay, so here's the thing. He's not exactly setting a precedent with the whole wanting to get out of jail with a corona thing. That's literally what just happened with Tekashi 6ix9ine.
But he got
Say again?
He got it, though. I think he got out.
Yeah, but initially they was like, nah, B. But they wound up letting him out.
I think because he has
right. So what I'm thinking is, because I don't know the timeline, but it sounds like to me, Tekashi shit worked. So their lawyer was like, well, fuck it. Ain't no soap in here, y'all.
Right. And I think what's probably next is somebody on his legal team is probably going to know about Tekashi's case being successful, and
set a precedent.
Verse with them and see what they can do and what works for them. The only thing I can think that could possibly stop it is the fact that they're 2 different states.
It might be a case of one state has a certain allowance for something that the other state doesn't have, but whatever the case is, he's going to try that shit because, I mean, to be honest, he wouldn't be much good of a lawyer,
right? If
he didn't at least put the bid in. But I gotta say, how embarrassed must he have been?
No, I have to go into the detail. Like,
oh man,
in order to protect yourself from this thing, you must admit that you have herpes. And with
he said, it is illegal to spread herpes knowingly. Okay, said, no, it's not. I mean, I ain't doing that.
Oh man.
Oh man.
All right, so I'm gonna jump down to this bottom because this is what I really want to talk about. And it's kind of tied into that whole DJ Green villain. That's a terrible name, though.
Yes, it is. That is a horrible name.
Like I said, it sounds like he was trying to do the whole Green Goblin thing, but realized that was too close.
Yeah, it's proprietary. You couldn't get away with that.
Yeah.
This is IP. So.
All right. So one of the things that have grown from this whole Corona thing is the virtual IG beat battle. Have you caught any of these?
Well, to be honest, no, and I'm gonna tell you why.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure they're dope as fuck. I don't have any doubt of that. It's just that I'm just not. How can I put this?
You're old.
Nigga, this ain't what I want.
I get it.
This ain't what I want. You know what I want?
What do you want?
I want to be out there somewhere.
Well, obviously.
Getting it in. So I see what everybody else. I see what everybody else is using, and look, I'm happy for them. Y'all using this to pass time, and I'm glad they doing shit like this. But this ain't what I want, B. I want to be out there.
That aside, because obviously that's not ideal for me either. But
yeah,
these are amazing. All right, so
no, I don't doubt it.
Yeah. So Timbaland and Swiss Beats recruit the biggest names in music for verses spelled with 2 Z's and a U. Battle series.
We not ones to talk.
Black it's only 1 Z. It's with us. Regardless. The battles have become the new go-to form of entertainment amid the global lockdown. Timbaland and Swiss Beats have started versus. I can't say whatever. A series of online battles with some of music's biggest names as the coronavirus crisis continues.
Right.
Kicking off last month, March 25th, after the pair issued challenges to one another via a series of Instagram posts, the super producers decided that it would be better to take their beat battle to Instagram Live. It's official, Timbaland said of the video in a video post. We're doing this for the culture. Me and Swizzy gonna go at it.
Fuck it, we're doing it live.
I mean, that's a fact. That's exactly what each producer took turns to play records they created, which included tracks by Jay-Z, Aaliyah, DMX, and Missy Elliott. Fans, friends, and fellow artists logged on to share their thoughts on who they felt won each round. Watch a pair of recap videos from the first battle. We're not doing that. All right. So, after the battle was over, Tidal shared a playlist compiled of the records played during the battle, which you can listen to, and they have a link. Next up, producers Hit Boy and Boy Wonder, who collectively have produced for the likes of Cardi B, Rihanna, Jay-Z, and Pusha T, squared off against each other on Friday night. Aside from playing their commercial hits, the pair treated fans to a plethora of unreleased gems from Drake and Roddy Ricch, Nas, Benny the Butcher, and even a cut from Big Sean and the late Nipsey Hussle. Tidal shared another playlist, seemingly announcing that they would be doing so after each battle. Turning the focus from producer to songwriter, The Dream and Sean Garrett were the next to clash. Me and the Real Swiss Beats decided to represent the songwriters, Timbaland said in a post advertising the battle on Instagram. Dream versus Sean Garrett, hit for hit tonight, live, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This one's going to go crazy. All right. After a few false starts, Garrett kicked things off with Donnell Jones' Better Start Talking, featuring Jermaine Dupri, and The Dream countered with an unreleased Her song. As the night progressed, the pair played a range of songs by Drake, Destiny's Child, Rihanna, Beyonce, Jay Electronica, Ciara, Justin Bieber, Mario, Pussycat Dolls, and more. One of the biggest talking points came when The Dream played an unheard reference track for Jay-Z's 2013 single, Holy Grail, which you can listen to as part of the battle's official Tidal playlist. The next battle in the series took place Monday night, March 30th, featuring songwriters Neo and Jonta Austin. Famous names in attendance include Usher, T.I., Carrie Hilson, JoJo, Chris Brown, Jermaine Dupri, Charlamagne tha God, who watched as the pair of R&B songwriting talents went head-to-head in a cordial battle, playing everything from Chris Brown's Excuse Me Miss to Mario's Let Me Love You to Mariah Carey's We Belong Together to Tyrese's Sweet Lady. And on Wednesday night, Scott Storch, which I've only watched two of them. I only watched the Timbaland Swiss Beats one, and I watched this one. On Wednesday night, April 1st, Scott Storch, the man behind hits like Dr. Dre's Still Dre. Oh my God, I'm going to get to that. Faced off against longtime Cash Money Records producer Manny Fresh.
Y'all heard Manny got mashed, though.
Manny got mollywopped.
He got mashed.
I'm going to get into that. I'm going to give my review of that. Originally billed as Scott Storch versus T-Pain, the Armstrong hitmaker pulled out earlier, stating that the new matchup made more sense. Monster producer up against a beast producer makes a lot more sense. LOL. The people spoke up, so Timbaland and Swiss Beats are looking for somebody that makes more sense to go up against me. This is T-Pain. When they hit me up with the Scott Storch call, I was like, nigga, that's weird, but let's go. But yeah, producer makes more sense for sure. So yeah, that was T-Pain is going to go up against. Here it is. Posting on Instagram, T-Pain wrote. Oh, I just read it. T-Pain will now take on Little John on Saturday. Okay.
Oh, sorry.
I'm actually interested in that one for real. I ain't even gonna hold you. I'm not gonna hold you. I'm really interested in that one. New paperwork just in. Swiss Beats announced on Instagram. T-Pain versus Lil Jon going to be real. Showdown. Timbaland versus who you got winning. That's going to happen tonight, which is Saturday for anybody that's listening on the Spotify stream or any other podcast platforms. That would be tonight as we recorded. The battle between Fresh and Scott Storch started at 9 p.m. EST, with the former kicking off the proceedings with Lil Wayne's Go DJ. All right. They battled for about an hour in front of their stream reached 202,000 people.
It's pretty dope.
Which is the highest stream numbers on the IG Live battles so far.
That's pretty dope.
And Scott Storch won clearly.
That's what I heard.
All right,
but I heard it was. I saw all kinds of Rest IP Manny Freshes all on social media.
Like, yeah, here's the thing. I was scrolling through my phone, looking through notifications and whatnot, and I saw John post.
John the Don?
Yeah.
For those of you who don't know, battle rapper for the URL.
And I saw him post, owner of Bullpen Battle League. I saw him post RIP Manny Fresh. So I went to the post, and I'm like, yo, this is not.
You thought he died, yo.
No, this is not the time to be.
That's true. That's
like,
true.
bro, there's something going on in the world right now.
That's true, but you know what? In a moderate John defense, because you're dead ass right. This ain't the time for that. John is in battle culture.
Yeah,
that's how they talk. So I think it probably was a reflex. You know what I'm saying?
It was nothing but a reflex. I ain't mad at him, but it's just that
range of God. Yeah.
That range of emotions in that small amount of time, from me seeing a notification, clicking on it, reading it, seeing a notification, being like, oh shit. Clicking on it, reading it, being like, oh, okay. Then being like, come on, John. Then being like, oh wait, a beat battle. Oh shit. That happened within a 1 minute span.
Damn.
But let's get to this battle. All right. So I will say that just from a spectator's point of view,
right,
with no context and no prior knowledge that the average person may or may not know. And by the average person, I am not calling myself an expert. I am calling myself one of Tim's favorite phrases, an interested novice.
Yep.
With all that, like I said, no extra context, no extra background, just on the perspective of looking and not necessarily knowing how battles work. Scott Storch demolished.
Damn.
Not even close to being competitive. Right. But then after it was over, and that was how I felt when I first just on watch, right?
Right.
But then I think about it. There are several factors that actually, if you think about, make this a lot closer than it really was. First of all, Manny Fresh came prepared to battle. You know how you said, you know how there are battles, rap battles that is, that when they happen, people like talk about, oh, bars. And that's cool. That's what it came from. I get it.
Bars over everything. Is that
thing? It was a thing at one point. Bars over names was actually a thing that URL was doing at one point. But that was not for purity's sake. That was because of money. But anyway, regardless,
yeah.
They're a business. They got to do business things. But here's the thing: there are other elements to a battle than just your bars.
It's true. Very true.
It seems as though Manny Fresh understood that. Manny made skits about Scott Storch ahead of time. and had loaded up to play during the battle. I was like, yo, that's crazy. He had this one where it was like this New York accent, and the dude was saying, Scotty, we're not doing R&B, man. Get that soft shit out of here, that type thing. He had another one that was like a conversation with Siri, where it was like, Siri, play Scott Storch. And Siri was like, can't be found. And it was like, Siri, play super producer Scott Storch. And Siri was like, can't be found. It's like, okay, play awesome mega producer Scott Storch. And Siri was like, can't be found. And then he was like, all right, well, play whack ass garbage producer. And Siri was like, did you mean Scott Storch?
Ass.
And then Siri was like, would you like me to play Scott Storch? And the response was, nah, fuck that. We don't want to hear that garbage. Put on some Mandy Fresh. Then another one, it was basically like a news briefing saying something to the effect of Scott Storch was found with his aviator glasses on, having overdosed from cocaine. Blah, blah. It was, yo, Mandy Fresh came to battle.
Now, here's the thing, though.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I didn't see it.
Right.
So I can't really have an opinion on it in that way. But isn't there also another rule of thumb that might make the argument that Mandy had all that extra shit because he didn't think his music was
Let me get to that.
Scott.
Let me get to that. That's one of the reasons why I say much closer rather than Mandy won.
Right.
Because another point for Mandy was that Mandy Fresh produces his shit. He is the producer. Yeah. There's very, very few times where he co-produces. With Scott Storch, though, there are a plethora of times where he's just responsible for playing keys. Yeah. So
that's true. But is Scott doing that? Is when he does just the playing the keys part, is he producing from the sense of he got the people together to be able to make this, or is he claiming it as I made this beat?
Quick side note, it was really good to see that Scott Storch and Timbaland aren't beefing anymore. But this reminded me of that song that Timbaland and Timberlake and Nelly Furtado put out, Give It To Me, where Timbaland was like, I'm a real producer and you just a piano man. I'm like, yo, what? But this reminded me of that because one of the beats Scott Storch played, Cry Me a River.
Yeah.
Timbaland produced that beat. Timbaland did the production. And like I don't know how much musically Timberlake provided as far as the production was concerned, but he did arrangements, he did people together. Scott Storch played the clavinet.
So does Scott Storch get producer's credit for that? If all he did was play keys?
He does have a credit.
Then he did what Quincy Jones does a lot too. Yeah. Like that, there are a lot of legendary producers that do that exact same thing. And Quincy's one. Does Quincy, can he do the other? Yeah, he can absolutely produce. But he does a lot of the other shit too, where I just got people together, came in, played this bass real fast. I wanted to sound like this. If he's telling, say again.
That's Dre. So, and another song he played, what was it? I can't remember, but it was a couple songs that he did that he used in the battle that you're not even the main producer, my nigga. Like,
he's cheating. He over there cheating.
But he did bring out some of his like haymakers. Like,
yeah.
Joint. A lot of people don't know. Scott Storch is a founding member of the Roots.
Right.
Roots, the You Got Me. And if you listen to that beat, it makes sense because it's mostly piano.
Yep. Because he's a piano player.
Lean Back, that's him. That's
right.
The 50 Cent joint, Candy Shop, that's all him.
I hated that song.
So I mean, funny enough, listening to this battle did make me remember how much I didn't like some of these songs, but the production was. Production was on point. But all those points against Scott Storch, I gotta come back to Manny Fresh. He didn't have enough variety. Here's the issue. 90%, probably higher than 90%, but I don't want to go too high, of the songs that Manny Fresh played were either Hot Boys, Lil Wayne, Juvenile, Big Timers.
It's not enough.
So funny. I think there were 3 songs that he played that didn't fit that into that. 3 out of 20. It was 2 T.I. songs and 1 Young Jeezy song. Every other song was Cash Money.
Enough. That's not enough, especially considering how close in sound.
Yeah,
it's not
New Orleans sound. So
it's not enough.
It sounds similar sonically. So you're going up somebody that's playing songs from Beyonce, Jay-Z, Justin Timberlake,
pop, rap, R&B,
the Roots. Like, come on, my dude. This was not the move. When I felt like, and that's the crazy thing. I think Manny Fresh is the more talented producer.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not what a battle is about.
Nope. And also, Manny, every time I hear Manny, this is just an aside, every time I heard Manny's production back in the day, I thought of the dude Mantronics from back in the day. Like the way he used his hi-hats. Like that's some shit Mantronics and them was doing. And I was wondering, damn, Mantronics, Manny Fresh. Like, if you're a student of this shit, do you know who Mantronics is? And was that an influence? You know what I'm saying? Like, I always went, because, like, of course, now Mantronics shit, this is back in the day, so you also gotta weigh the updated sound next to the style that was doing back then, but you hear a lot of similarities in Mantronics music. If you wanna hear a Mantronics, want to know something where you could hear a Mantronics track, it was actually one of his songs was used in Vice City, the game, Vice City. But the way he do his hi-hats, beats, and them rolling 808s, a lot like Mantronics. A lot like. Agua is right too. The Crimea River beat is dope.
Ridiculous.
That beat is ridiculously dope.
Ridiculous. The one thing about him using that song is, yes, it's clearly a Timbaland beat, but his part that he plays is prevalent throughout the song.
Yep.
Even though, like I said, as far as the actual putting together of the song, he wasn't.
Right.
He didn't have the highest percentage of input.
I feel like he's cheating with that, though.
I do, yo. There's a couple songs that he used that I feel like. Matter of fact, hold on. I think there's a list. Before I go through the list, so they both saved their heaviest punch for the last song, right?
Of course, gotta knock them out.
So Manny was like, "All right, this is the last song." He was like, "All right, I got something that you're not gonna be able to come back from." And Scott Storch was like, "Come on." He was like, "No, I'm serious. This is a Negro spiritual." And of course, back that ass up.
So ass, yo. That was so ass, yo. Look, right though. Like that's something that's very recognizable. For the record, I hated that song. But it's a recognizable song. Like as soon as it comes on,
when it came on, I was like, Yo, man, he's going for the knockout. And then the song stops. Scott Storch is shaking his head in approval. And he says, I got something for that. And he hits the button, and you hear blum 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 dum 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 dum. I'm like, E beat is one of the hardest beats ever to exist in history.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, I've probably tried 3 times to make something similar, and
to no avail.
The
couldn't snatch that energy.
Tell you means that it didn't happen because you would have heard it by now.
Right.
Like, no, that beat is so hard. But anyway, here's the list. Because they had Dot Smoke, who has been he's produced and done a bunch of other stuff. They had him score the battle.
Mm-hmm.
Here's all 20. So the first one, Manny Fresh played. Oh, but that's the other thing I wanted to say about Scott Storch. It was a couple Dre songs on there that it's like, I don't know how to.
Questionable. It's questionable.
Yeah, it's like,
it's questionable.
What did Dre do? What did you do? Like,
and hold up, before we even get to Dre, what did one of Dre peoples do?
Right, that's what I'm saying.
So it's a lot of working parts to a lot of these Dre songs that don't necessarily all have Dre hands on it. So look, and this ain't us running down his contribution because Dre is still.
No, we did it. We did it
and shit
on Dre. I think Dre has the perfect score on our GOAT metric.
And I think because the particular music lane, culture, genre that I'm in is hip hop, the mentality that we do towards rhymes is, nigga, did you write your shit?
Right. If you ain't write
your shit? So we kind of project that onto producers, but the truth is, in a producer's game, that's not uncommon. You know what I'm saying?
Producer, they think beat maker. And that's not the same thing.
That's a hip hop mentality. Because we didn't have hip hop started out very street, very low resource. Like you ain't have a production crew. You was making beats in your house. I'm saying, you know, production crew.
We're ruining records to make music.
Right. So.
Oh yeah. But this scorecard. All right. So first, Manny Fresh played Go DJ. Scott Storch played Watcher 2. They gave that to Manny Fresh. The next one, Manny Fresh played Juvenile High. Scott Storch played Chris Brown. Give me that. They gave that to Manny Fresh too. Then there was a run. Project Bitch versus Baby Boy. Scott Storch won. Need a Hot Girl versus Lil Kim, Light Us Up. That was a tie. Blank versus Make It Rain. That was a tie. Hot Boys, Shine versus Eve. Let Me Blow. Storch won that with Eve. Lil Wayne, Mahogany versus Roots, You Got Me. Scott Storch won that with You Got Me. Juvenile 400 Degrees versus 50 Cent, Just a Little Bit.
Right.
Scott won that with 50 Cent. Then Manny Fresh got another win. T.I. Top Back versus Busta Rhymes, Break Your Neck. T.I. won. Manny Fresh, Real Big versus Justin Timberlake, Cry Me a River. Cry Me a River was going to win against any song pretty much.
Yeah, I agree. It's going to win.
Big Time is Get Your Roll On versus Beyonce, Naughty Girl. That was a tie. Jeezy and Then What versus Roddy Ricch, Down Below. Jeezy won, so Manny Fresh got another point. Lil Wayne, Black is Hot versus Jadakiss, You Make Me Wanna. That was a tie. I don't think so. I think Manny Fresh should have won that one because I don't really like that song, but it is what it is. Juvenile Ghetto Children versus Chris Brown Run It. Chris Brown won. T.I. Big Things Poppin' versus 50 Cent Candy Shop. That was a tie. Juvenile Rich Niggas versus Beyonce, Me, Myself, and I. Beyonce won that. Lil Wayne, Way of Life versus Mary J. Blige, Family Affair. Mary J. Blige won that. Lil Wayne, Unthinkable Remix versus Lean Back. Lean Back won. Big Time Is Still Fly versus Mario, Let Me Love You. Big Timers won that. And then the last one, Back That Ass Up versus Still Dre. And clearly, the funny thing is, like I said, when I heard Manny play Back That Ass Up, I was like, oh, all right, you made sure you won this one.
Right. And then it wasn't to be. It wasn't to be.
Came on and it's like, oh, my bad. I forgot. I apologize, Scott.
Hit him with the O? Oh. Oh, shit. All right.
My bad.
Well, damn. Ooh. Guess I lose.
Scotty. My bad, bro. But yeah, it was, like I said, it was super dope overall. Like I said, I got tired. I got tired of hearing over and over, cash money, cash money, cash money, cash money, cash money. But
that has a lot to do with it, like fatigue, yo. Like it's like imagine in a battle rap arena, and somebody start off every round he does with the exact same bars for at least 8 of those bars each round. At the while, like, yo, my nigga, come on, like, what are you doing? Like using a 4-bar setup to make a point overall. It's an overall artistic point that you driving home. I got that. But when you go over a certain amount, it's like people are like, yo, I heard that. I heard that. I heard that.
Like, why do you keep doing this? Stop doing it.
Why do you keep doing it? Right.
And I wish that he had. I really wish that he would have worked with more people throughout his career, because I really do, like, he is talented at this shit. Like,
yeah.
But alas, it was not meant to be.
Nope.
It was not meant to be.
I mean, it is what it is. Regardless of how I felt about them at the time, it's not like them like Manny and the Hot Boys, they made history with this shit. Like they are a true entry in the whole rap shit. So it's just a battle. It don't change his credibility. No.
Right.
And,
absolutely.
yo, Scott got a lot of shit. He got a lot of baggage, yo. Like he do. Like Scott got a lot of baggage that Manny don't got. Like even though I may have liked more of Scott's stuff that he's attached to, I don't see Scott the same way I see Manny. Like I have a different look at Scott than I do with Manny. Like Scott be on some fuck shit. So like, all right, it's one battle.
Let's just go through this list real quick. Scott Storch's single production discography. Everything that he has credit for, that is a single, right?
Right.
All right, so You Got Me, that's the Roots. Still DRE. Yo, he put them out the same day. That's the same year. Oh my God, that's ridiculous. Anyway, X from Exhibit, Family Portrait from Pink.
That song's hard too, by the way.
X, yeah. Fighter, Christina Aguilera, The Streets, Dub C, Can't Hold Us Down, Christina Aguilera and Lil' Kim, Baby Boy, Beyonce and Sean Paul, Clap Back, Ja Rule, Poppin' Them Things, G Unit, Me, Myself and I, Beyonce, Naughty Girl, Beyonce, Let Me Love You, Mario, The Champ Is Here, Jada Kiss, Lean Back, Fat Joe, and Remy Ma, Don't Say Nothing, The Roots, You Make Me Wanna, Jada Kiss and Mariah Carey, Candy Shop, 50 Cent, Just a Little Bit, 50 Cent, Players Only, R. Kelly in the Game, Get It Poppin', Fat Joe and Nelly, Run It, Chris Brown and Jewels and Santana, Turn It Up, Chameleonaire, Lil Flip, Lighters Up, Lil Kim, Lord Give Me a Sign, DMX, Conceited, Remy Ma, Why We Thugs, Ice Cube, Give Me That Remix, Chris Brown and Lil Wayne, About Us, Brooke Hogan, Pew, and Paul Wall. Make It Rain, Fat Joe and Lil Wayne. Let's Ride, The Game, You Ain't Know, Birdman and Lil Wayne. I Refuse, Urban Music, Mystic. Lock You Down, Maya and Lil Wayne. Impacto, Daddy Yankee and Fergie. Work, Kelly Rowland. Comeback, Kelly Rowland. Get Up, 50 Cent. Bingo, Gucci Mane. Shutterbug, Big Boy. Under Pressure, Dre and Jay-Z. Boom, Snoop and T-Pain. Where to Find Me, Saigon and Quan. Brick Wall, somebody. I don't even know who that is. I Love the 90s, Mac Wilds. That Love, Shaggy, All Eyes, The Game featuring Jeremiah. Order of Operations, Big Boy, Drippin'. I don't know how to pronounce that. Think Twice, Russ. Prosper, Russ. Maybe, Russ. Wife You Up, Russ. Unhappy, A Boogie with the Hoodie. Supernova, Anze, Algort. I think that's how you pronounce that. TR 666, Trippie Redd, and Sway Lee. Back to Life, Russ. The Flute Song, Russ. My Tata, Mike 11 featuring Jeremiah. I don't know how to pronounce that. Taking a Walk, Trippie Redd. Rafe, T.I. featuring Yo Gotti. Down Below, Roddy Rich. Attention, Fat Joe. Undecided, Chris Brown. And that's just the, like I said, that's just the singles.
Right.
Hold up, that can't be all the singles because Let Me Blow Your Mind was a single, and I don't remember saying that. But that's just how this one is listed. Now, let me do the same thing for Brother Manny Fresh because I'm fairly certain. Yeah, oh no. Why is this list different? This list is his Hot 100 singles, not just all the singles he did. But anyway, High, Juvenile. So we're going to go through these and see how many of these is Cash Money. High, Juvenile, Cash Money. Back That Ass Up, Juvenile, Cash Money. Bling Bling, BG, Cash Money. Block Is Hot, Lil Wayne, Cash Money. I Need a Hot Girl, Hot Boys, Cash Money. You Understand, Juvenile, Cash Money. Get Your Roll On, Big Timers, Cash Money. Number One Stunner, Big Timers, Cash Money. Project Chick, Cash Money Millionaires. Hey, it's in the name. Set It Off, Juvenile, Cash Money. Mama Got Ass, Juvenile, Cash Money. Shine, Lil Wayne, Cash Money. Still Fly, Big Timers, Cash Money. Oh Yeah, Big Timers, Cash Money. Way of Life, T-Pain. I mean, not T-Pain, Lil Wayne, Cash Money. This How We Do, Big Timers, Cash Money. In My Life, Juvenile, Cash Money. Go DJ, Lil Wayne, Cash Money. Real Big, Manny Fresh, Cash Money. And Then What, Young Jeezy, not Cash Money. Top Back, T.I., not Cash Money. Big Shit Poppin', T.I., not Cash Money. Take Your Shirt Off, T-Pain, not Cash Money. So literally,
most of those beats were all from his Hot Boys.
Only the last 4 were not Cash Money.
Yeah. Yeah. And, you know,
it's what it is.
I said diversity matters.
Yeah.
Although in music,
it depends.
About.
Yeah, it depends on the conversation.
Because I know, a lot of record execs and A&R hate that word. Well, that's how it used to be. Because they feel like, how can I market you? You know what I'm saying? If you're doing all this other shit, how do we market? You know. But in the case of a battle like this, yeah,
it's kind of necessary.
Because one, you're hitting a lot of different emotions when you're doing when you got the diversity and stuff, and these were all hits, and they come from different. Because in hip hop, they listen to one type of emotion, one type of memory or whatever. Then some R&B or pop song has another completely different from that. So.
Really? Yeah, you want to break the monotony up at some point.
Yeah.
But that's not what happened. It is what it is. I didn't mention this one. I don't know why it wasn't in that article, but apparently Teddy Riley and Babyface.
Yeah, I saw something about that. That's
going to be interesting. I want that one. I want to see that one. That's going to be
real interesting. It's going to be real interesting because I got a feeling, as far as Baby Butt over there, he's got stuff that he did that I think people don't know he did.
Yo, basically, I'm pretty sure on some Quincy and Dre shit, he probably has credits for 90% of the music that came out of LaFace Records.
Yeah.
Or Jack. Or Jay.
And it could be others. I'm telling you, like back then, he was getting it in. And beyond just his label affiliations and stuff. Yeah, he was getting it in. But so was Riley though. So was Riley.
Oh, absolutely. We did a appreciation episode on Teddy Riley.
Yeah, he was getting it in. Like
absolutely. Blackstreet, Guy, all like it's a lot with Teddy Riley. Those old school rappers.
The who?
Those old school rappers.
What do you mean from Teddy?
Yeah.
Yeah, Rex and Effects and all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. And a lot of them were using his New Jack Swing type of style or whatever. Absolutely. But to quote my man Ice Cube, it ain't no pop because that sucks. And you can New Jack Swing from a nuts.
I can't.
Nobody went at Cube. So that's why when dude swung at Q-Tip, I was like,
yeah.
Because you see Q-Tip as soft, not realizing he's part of that whole the whole Zulu Nation shit over there. We'll get your block knocked the fuck off. They had to get the Nation of Islam and Louis Farrakhan to stop that shit from being what it was about to be, swinging off on Q-Tip like that. I ain't gonna lie. I looked at the dude from Rex a little crazy when that happened at the time. So I was like, but like even the shit that the Q-Tip got hit for wasn't that bad. The shit said wasn't even really a diss for real. But that shit Cube said was flagrant. And you ain't swing on Cube.
Nah.
And it's not like Cube wasn't in New York a lot, because this was around the time he was getting a lot of his production done by the Bomb Squad. He was coming to New York back and forth. It's not like Cube hasn't been in physical altercations in New York before. The New Music Seminar, this is probably before a lot of y'all time, but when y'all was paying attention, but New Music Seminar, they're there every year, and it was something that me and my brother Sean always wanted to go to, the New Music Seminar. One of the biggest fights that broke out was Lynch Mob and Eazy-E's people. Was fucking Above the Law, and they start fighting with Lynch Mob right there. They threw Ice Cube's DJ off a fucking balcony and shit, and it was getting crazy. Yeah, so it ain't like Cube was a stranger to that. You know what I'm saying? Like he was in your hometown. Like you ain't pop off on Cube. We see you.
They had a very different energy.
The energy was different. See, you're gonna swing on the dude with the little Raiden hat on. You're gonna swing with the dude with the cool demeanor, just taking pictures when he's doing this.
That ain't bothering nobody.
Dude. But you ain't gonna swing on the dude that look like he's gonna come in your house and kill your whole family. You ain't swing on him.
You ain't swing on a dude that say that he ain't even had to shoot his AK, so the day was a good day.
Right?
Yeah, you ain't swing on him.
Mr. No Vaseline over there. You ain't nothing to say. Just saying.
Terrible. Absolutely terrible.
I think that's it, right?
That is it.
Yo, we definitely want to thank all of you that took the time out of your day to spend 2 crazy ass hours with us.
Yeah.
Especially with all of the tech issues we had open early on, but like you said, that's on brand. You know what I'm saying? That's on brand.
I mean, it's gonna diminish over time, and not that long of a time, but it's still on brand.
Yeah, it's on brand. But yeah, we appreciate y'all, man, and we appreciate all of you that are listening to this via Spotify, iTunes, and the numerous other platforms that you might be listening to this on. because your continued participation and attention is what keeps us going.
Absolutely.
And with that, we just want to say thanks.
Thank you.
So, for my man SPJ, I am Tombstone the Dead Man, and for the greater multi-world entertainment family, yes, and including Adequate, we are out.
Peace.